Happy Sunday, everyone. This is my second video of the day, but I wanted to get it out because I wanted to actually separate this from the other video that I have done previously on really describing what the psychiatric treatment representation service is. I wanted to do a different video on what are some of the considerations that would prompt you to seek legal representation in this area. And this is really important because it really delves into who the service is for and who the service is not for. So before we get there, I'd like to introduce myself. Yet again, this is Mariette Clardy Davis, and I am an attorney in the state of Georgia. And I'm owner and founder of ML Clardy Law LLC, where we provide very focused psychiatric treatment legal services for caregivers and individuals. Specifically, mental health is such a focus and a passion for me. I have my own battle with bipolar depression, and the firm was really created from a genesis of that. And so often I was seeking resources and could not find them. So hence the really the raison d'etre, reason to be for my for the law firm. But today I want to talk about really who the law firm is for, and if you fall into these categories, what are some of the considerations that would prompt you to work with me? So the first one is, where are you located? If you're located in the state of Georgia, check. Next, what is your current legal situation? And specifically, are you an individual who is challenged with a mental health condition? Are you a caregiver, loved one, or friend who has an individual who is has a mental health condition? Check. Oh, we're moving down the list. Next is the current situation with the loved one or the individual, is it related to treatment or proposed treatment within a psychiatric facility, whether it is a hospital, whether it's an evaluating facility, or whether it is a actual treatment center? So before we get to that, you may say, what are those three? So let me just break those three things down real quick. So depending on where a person is in their journey, they may come into the journey many different ways. An individual like myself may go to a mental health evaluating facility where they desire to be evaluated by a mental health professional, an intake specialist, to determine if they have need for services, whether it's involuntary or voluntary. Number two, they may come in through the courts if it's related to a mental health court criminal matter, or the criminal matter was somehow there was a veer off and mental health was a focus, so they may be ordered to go to treatment, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. But more than likely, if they're ordered, it's involuntary. Finally, in the state of Georgia, a treatment provider, a psychiatrist, a therapist may involuntarily commit someone to a treatment facility. Generally, that's done, and if a medical provider believes that the individual is in imminent harm or threat to themselves or others, keyword imminent, they can fill out paperwork to have a court order a peace officer to come to their house and send them to an evaluating facility. Generally, it's involuntarily. And then finally, other cases I have seen is if the individual just goes to a regular hospital, not even a treatment facility, but they're experiencing crisis. They're in a crisis, mental health-based crisis situation. Then the hospital may send them to an evaluating facility. So now that we've gotten those three things, then we move on to the next kind of check mark, which is, depending on where you are in that journey, are you having challenges? Generally, I'm brought in because there are challenges, and the challenges are not what you may think. So many people are thinking challenges like legal challenges. For instance, I have to go to a hearing, or I have to go to court because they want my loved one to stay longer. Yes, that is one. But another challenge is just lack of communication, frustration, fear, panic, just overall overwhelm. Those generally, I find, are some of the greatest challenges both the individual and caregiver, and you may be surprised, facilities also experience along this journey with the individual. So if there are specific challenges related to this journey while they're in treatment or they're expected to be in treatment, then that's another check mark. Let's see if I've left anything else out. And then finally, understanding what your goals are. What are you looking to accomplish? There are certain things that I cannot do and I cannot wave a magic wand and assist with. And we'll use a perfect example. My legal representation does not guarantee a specific outcome. That may be difficult. What it will guarantee are a couple of things. The support to facilitate, negotiate, and advocate. Those three things it will accomplish. And I have created systems and processes to ensure that that happens. But a myth is that an attorney can come in and wave a magic wand and get you released in 2 hours. Myth number one. Myth number two, that you can hire me because you want someone to help take the load off, where you have what I call hands-off caregiving. In order for this to work and my representation to be effective, caregivers need to be involved. So that's number two. And then finally, number three, understanding that this is a part in the journey and that legal representation doesn't guarantee that your journey is over. I cannot end an individual's journey related to their mental health condition. But what I can do is give both the individual and the caregiver greater peace of mind in the process. So if you either fit those criteria or you know someone who fits those criteria, or later on down the line, months later, you come into contact with someone who fits those criteria, I really invite you to book a discovery call with me to learn more about what those services are, what your unique challenges are, goals, and then what kind of transformation you or your loved one are looking to experience related to this service. And I look forward to talking to you soon. I want to thank you for joining me today and have a fantastic Sunday.